All right. Welcome to the Useless Potato Podcast. Once again, I'm hosting tonight. I am Taylor, and I am joined by the usual suspects.
Hello, I'm Nico.
I forgot to unmute myself. Hi there, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Nico, how are you doing? You didn't answer how you were doing.
Oh, I
DD.
did answer that I was here though.
Well, we want the
I've
full
been all right.
rundown.
Oh
Full,
yeah,
full report.
through my day I've been playing Gunfire Reborn, a fantastic game, and yeah, I had ramen just before we started, and ramen is top tier.
Are you? You know what isn't top tier? Love that segue. I learned it from Linus Tech Tips. You know what isn't top tier? The
What's
video
that?
games we're gonna talk about today.
Oh, look at that. Oh, also, my wife brought me a pumpkin bread thing. I don't know how I'm going to manage to eat this, but I'm going to try my best.
Oh heck
Exact.
yeah!
Well, okay. So here's the thing. I was gonna like, who wants to go first? But the thing is, someone amongst us has a very spicy take. Nico, what is what video game do you not
Oh,
like? And please
really?
tell us
Wait, I
why.
didn't know Nico had a, like... Oh, before we start, I do have something I gotta talk about real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a Clips channel now. We'll have a link to that down in the description below of the VOD, but you can also find it linked in this YouTube channel. So if you ever want to see the best of highlights of this, my dog is just clicking around me. If he could please go away. But yeah, if you ever want to see the best of moments of this stream, just go to that channel. You can find them.
As your is that pumpkin bread you said, by the way?
It is a large pumpkin cream roll that has been sliced up, and I'm having a slice of it now, apparently.
Oh. Well, make sure you shove it in your face whenever you start talking. So we're gonna kind of sound like this. It'll be fantastic.
No, no, no,
I
no,
mean,
no.
I mean, we can go from bad video games to Dan eating bread ASMR. I'm totally down to like
Hey,
hit up that
let's just
particular niche.
completely
No, no, no,
postpone the
no. I had
whole
to edit
podcast.
myself episode 2 because I was eating a goddamn sandwich when we started, and all I could hear was my goddamn stupid face chewing and munching, and it was disgusting.
Okay, so what is the sub count we need to get Dan eating ASMR? What goal do we need to strive for
You
to
need those
get
mouth
just an
sounds,
episode of just those sweet food mouth sounds?
and this is up to you. What's the number?
No, no,
Just no. The number is
no,
no. So everyone
no.
unsubscribe. That's the number I'm hearing. Every
Yeah.
zero
All the progress you made? Nah, gone. Just because we want to
gone.
hear Dan mouth sounds.
All right.
Let's try.
Anyways, let's moving right along. Moving
Man,
along.
why couldn't I be E-Boy Amaranth? Come on.
Exactly. A
Honestly,
hot tub. Let's go. All right. Anyways, moving along before we get really off topic here. Nico, what is your spicy take? What is your spice? What
oh
game
man.
do you have on this list that is totally
Well, I guess the spiciest of takes is I don't like Borderlands 3, and I don't think it's a great game. Uh, I felt the story was very mediocre compared to the other two, and the gameplay just mm,
I have so
felt a
much to
lot
add to
more
this.
like group based, I guess, because the characters, yeah, they're very diverse and everything, but playing them solo just was not fun. Besides like one character, which I didn't like playing this character, and his name was like, gee, what was his name? I don't remember his name. He was the guy that had like the hologram
You're failing me.
losers. What?
You're failing me.
What do you mean?
Can't remember the name of something you came to talk about. SMH my head.
Man,
0 out of 10?
I hate Brotherlands. Oh man, I don't remember the name of that game either. Anyway, um, there were a lot of characters that I liked as well in Borderlands 2 and 1 that just kind of got glossed over completely. The third one. And in 2, I liked playing Gage a lot. It's like, ooh, lady with big robot. No need to aim. Shoot a lot. Fantastic. But
I
I never saw her in the game except for in like echo logs.
Yeah, no, I have a lot to say about the goddamn Borderlands series. So whenever I mention that the characters annoy me, everyone always assumes for some stupid goddamn reason that I'm talking about the
Up trap.
no, my brain just stopped working for a second. Everyone always assumes that like I'm talking about like the characters you play as, like the main characters. No, because the main characters are not the main characters of the Borderlands games. You know what I mean? They're just people going on a ride in the story. They're not the story, you know?
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
there.
They're just there. They're the means with which you use to get to the story. No, when I say the characters, I mean people like Marcus and Dr. Zed and everyone else. And I loved Borderlands 1. I genuinely enjoyed it. I really do. But every game that came out afterwards, I fucking hated. I hated all of them. I despise all of them. I had nothing positive to say because I just couldn't stand the goddamn characters in 2, the pre-sequel, and 3. I hated them. I hated them. Like, I don't know what it was, but every time that they would take a character from the first game and you'd see them again, all the traits that made them like, oh, they're a little different, or oh, okay, that's what kind of sets them apart. The second game and all the sequels, they just take that aspect of them, and that's all they are now. That is the only thing they are.
So a group of friends and I came up with a term for that in video gaming. It's called Saints Row syndrome, where in a sequel they jack up one particular aspect, forgetting that it was all these elements
there's an
together.
actual term for this. This is actually a thing that exists. The term is
Oh,
flanderizing.
what? Flander.
Yes.
Oh.
So the reason it's called flanderizing is you've seen The Simpsons, right?
Yes.
Have you ever seen any old episodes with Ned Flanders in it?
Nope.
So in the older episodes, Ned Flanders he was the polite religious neighbor, but that's like, you know, he was just polite. He wasn't like a needlessly soft doormat. He wasn't religious to the point where, like, you know, he'd start breaking down and praying because someone sneezed on a Bible somewhere by accident. But as the seasons went on, that's all he was. All he became was hatty diddly neighbor, you know? So, because people notice that tendency with that character, the term that is used for that is called flanderizing when it happens in just any media, where a character whose neat traits, the things that set them apart, suddenly become all they are.
Okay, so the writers of Borderlands went, you know what? We're gonna take these characters and take the one aspect of the whole, and we're gonna
Yes.
Flanders this bitch.
Yes. No, genuinely. Like, Dr. Zed, oh, he doesn't have his medical license, he's not a great doctor, but he's very gritty, or he is a real doctor. He's a good doctor in the first game. It's just he lost his license because of some things that happened. Life kind of went south for him, on and on. Then you get to the second game and, like, he's joking or going like, oh, just because he went to med school and he brags around having his fancy medical degree. And it's like, I remember when you were actually a serious character.
But not anymore.
Yeah.
Now
I feel like, yeah, after Borderlands 1, all the seriousness kind of just went out the door, I feel. Yeah, but you say that, actually.
It was replaced with self-aware, OMG, so quirky, lol, so random humor.
I mean, yeah.
Gosh.
I will say, to be fair to Borderlands 2, not 3, but to 2, the ha lol random quirky humor had not hit like peak overdone quite yet. It was getting there.
Now that starts during the pre-sequel. That's when that shit just becomes insufferable.
I feel like I completely forgot the pre-sequel is a thing. I know you can play as Claptrap, and that's like the only thing I remembered from it.
Is it worth playing as Claptrap?
Oh, I loved playing Claptrap. See, the thing with these games is I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the story or anything. I really liked the gameplay.
Oh, yeah,
I like
that's my
shooting
thing.
things.
Yeah,
I really enjoy watching big number go up, bullets go up, because I played the gunner.
Ghost Post in the chat says hello. Hello, Ghost Post.
Oh, howdy, Lance. I know you.
I know you.
Lance, is this man named after a medieval jousting implement?
Oh, perhaps he is.
Medieval plane, yes.
He's the one I was talking about with all the Dead by Daylight hours for whenever we talk about that.
So, that's a great segue. I have a lot to say about that game, too. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't prep for this episode. I tried, and I just couldn't because my library of awful games I've played is so goddamn expansive that
Oh,
I
it's the
couldn't
exact
pick one.
opposite.
I couldn't pick,
was the
like,
exact-
I couldn't focus on any of them. And the problem was the ones I could focus on were the ones that everyone and their mother has sat down and said, yeah, this is a shit game. So yeah, I'm down to hear you talk about Dead by Daylight, Nico. I want to hear about this. Let's go.
All right, so for me personally, I never enjoyed Dead by Daylight as a game. It's not my style of game. I like horror. Horror is fun. I never enjoyed the gameplay loop that is repair generators, run from killer, escape. It wasn't ever fun to me, but on another level, the developers I feel are very slow. They don't typically, I guess, listen to their community super well.
Bro, they don't play their own game.
Yeah, and also the community itself is just garbage. Most people that play Dead by Daylight, I don't enjoy their company usually.
So I've never played it, but I've watched streamers play it, and I have never seen a game of that type of that asymmetrical PvP where your own team can grief you as badly, and then not only that, the other team can also screw with you. Like I think the only game I could think of like a more like toxic griefing problem would probably be League of Legends, but that's like the pinnacle, like top tier.
See, I would say no, because in League of Legends, outside of healing and shielding, it's almost never possible to actually physically grief your teammates in League of Legends outside of telling in all chat where your teammates are. In Dead by Daylight, you can body block and trap your teammates if you want to be an a-hole.
Why allow that?
I don't know. Well, I know why they have hitbox collision for survivors. It's because it's to help make the game a little more fair for killers, but also so survivors can body block and stuff like that to take hits, you know, to help save their friends, so that way teamwork is more encouraged. But unfortunately, the same mechanic that makes it so I can take a hit for you if a killer's chasing you makes it so if you accidentally walk into a corner, I can stand there, and now we are both staying there forever until one of us disconnects.
Like that was a problem Call of Duty realized wasn't a good idea back in like Modern Warfare 1 and 2, where people were blocking with the shields.
Ah, yes.
Oh lord.
It was a finer time. It was a simpler time.
It was an era of gentlemen.
That's right. I have never been called the N-word by so many people in such a short amount of time.
By so many scholars and gentlemen.
Yes, yes.
There was like the shield, and then there was like the flashlight that would literally just blind you completely.
Yes.
Yep.
Also, I didn't know what a whore my mom was until I found out every 14-year-old in that game has apparently slept with her.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Yeah, so my mom's not just a whore, she's a pedophile.
Wow.
Yeah. Figured that one out.
Hmm.
I was about to say, I've never
Interesting.
been called every single slur in my entire life in one lobby before. I'm like, I can't be like some of these things I can be at the same time. Some of these I can't. Like we're really like.
And then we lost Taylor,
labeling me.
and then Taylor was gone. Did your brain just
Yeah,
shut down?
Deceased.
Yep, for a little bit.
Yep. God. Seriously. Also, my brain, my train of thought's gone too. Holy shit. What'd you do to me, Taylor?
It is infectious.
Oh my god, it's contagious. In League of Legends, do you know what I told someone once? It's one of my favorite insults I've ever had. So I play jungle sometimes in League of Legends because I hate myself.
The most toxic of positions.
Yes. And so I went down to go help the bottom lane, and I pinged, hey, I'm going in. The enemy is under your tower. They're low health. If you go in with me, we'll kill them in like a second and none of us will die. Go in. I get there, they see me coming, they turn, they run. I die. Like, okay, fine, we'll try again. Try it again. Same exact thing happens. I die. I type in the all chat. Okay, so either the bottom lane has their pings disabled or they know what color of crayon tastes the best. Either way, I'm not coming back down there until they sort their chromosomes out. And then we get to the end of the game, and I just type, it was red, by the way.
God.
Oh my lord, just I try not to be a toxic man, but like seriously, it's not my fault when I play games like League of Legends and I'll just be sitting there like, you know, listen, top lane, has anyone ever told you you're as useless as a hooker who doesn't fuck, you know, aside from your parents?
Oh
That's
lord,
that's
I love
that's
how quickly we segued away from Dead by Daylight to talk about League.
yep.
I don't understand why you won't play this game with me. Look how much positive things I have to say about it. I don't
I know.
understand.
Yeah,
Alright,
the fact we're
anyways,
talking about it on the
on
podcast where we
bad
talk
games.
about bad games.
What are you talking about? It's a
Oh
great
lord.
game. It's an amazing game. It's good for my blood pressure. Fuck you.
Yeah, I used to play jungle. I didn't enjoy it.
No one enjoys it. Good jungles don't enjoy jungle. No one enjoys
80.
jungle. Jungle is where
I was
you
an
go
80
because
carry.
you're fucking shit at the game and don't know how to CS. Age, I hope you're watching this.
Mm, mm,
I'm an 80 carry, so
I'm sad
was an 80
now.
carry. Caitlyn main. Caitlyn in vain.
Nice.
Played
Oh, you played
Evelyn.
Vayne, you soulless monster.
Yup.
Oh lord.
That's just.
Pin someone to the wall and unload on him. It was the best feeling
Oh
in the
my god,
world.
that's
Until they
disgusting.
nerfed the fuck out of it, and then I was like, okay,
No, no,
going
it's
back
fine.
to
It's
Caitlyn.
back. It's fine.
Oh, it's back. Well,
Yep.
time to install League, guys.
Yeah, you build an item called, you know how her W makes it so every 3 hits does a bunch of true damage?
Yup.
They built an item that does the exact same thing, and it stacks with her W.
Oh dear lord.
Oh my god, I need to go play. I miss playing Vayne,
It's
actually.
so gross.
The only chance of you getting me to come play League again is if you and Taylor both play with me.
I mean, I'm down.
Although I don't know when that'll be or anything.
I'd have to be intoxicated. Brutally intoxicated.
Cowards. But
I
yeah,
probably
So-
would need to be as well.
but yeah, Dead by Daylight. To get back on topic, because that was a
Topic,
hell of a
yeah.
segue. Dead by Daylight. Yeah, Dead by Daylight. It makes me sad to say I don't think it's a very good game, but it's the best game in its genre,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is very
Isn't it like-
upsetting.
Isn't there like only 3 though? Because there's Dead by Daylight, there's Friday the 13th, and like there's a Dragon Ball Z one coming out for some weird reason.
So a lot of people don't know this. There's been like 9, 10, 11 different games of this type.
Oh yeah, and Evolve.
Yeah, the
Don't
thing
get me
is
wrong.
that they just don't work. They just, like, all of them have tried, and for some reason, Dead by Daylight's the only one that's been able to stick around. I genuinely think it's because in all the other ones, a core mechanic of it is you can kill the monster, or you can defeat the monster in some way permanently. And in Dead by Daylight, you can't. And I often wonder if maybe that feeling of, like, indirect powerlessness, or direct powerlessness, rather, is what makes that game feel that way.
Yeah.
So I've got some references to cite here, but the game, according to Lance, Ghost underscore post in the chat, his third reason for Dead by Daylight sucking is the game is never truly balanced. Killers seem to always be underpowered, no matter what the game is updated with.
Yes. I don't want to make this into a Dead by Daylight stream, but I can talk about that real quickly. Killer is always going to be underpowered. You can buff that thing until it's broken, but as long as it is a 4v1 based game where comms can be a thing, where people can communicate and plan to work around one working person, it's always going to be imbalanced. You're never going to be able to sort that out.
And it sucks that the game is only really fun with friends too, though, because
Oh,
solo play is just awful.
Oh, solo play is just AIDS. It's just awful. Like, I was a Trapper main for years. I was, God, I was like, oh my God. I don't remember what they call it. I stopped playing for my mental health. I need people to think about what that means. I stopped playing Dead by Daylight for my mental health, and I still play League of Legends.
Oh man. So you hate yourself, but not enough to subject yourself to Dead by Daylight. Understandable.
Yeah, when Ots Darva is coming out and making videos saying, I don't want to play this shit anymore, that's a clue.
I remember seeing a stream notification saying that he wasn't having fun with the game in the first time since like years and years ago.
Yes.
Hmm.
Like, God. But, you know, we've taken up a lot of the... We've taken up 20 minutes of this with just this. Taylor,
It's Dead by Daylight.
yeah, and League of Legends. Dead by Daylight and League of Legends. Taylor, if you wouldn't mind, I would love to hear, like, have you got any gaming hot takes about, like, what you think are some of the worst games, maybe ones that people really like, or...
Oh, gaming hot take. I mean, so I've had a hot take about Warframe. But if you want a really spicy hot take, it's not about a game. It's about a gaming system. It's about the Steam Deck because I got one recently, and I do have a hot take on that one.
Oh yeah.
But I know we want to. Do we want to keep focused on games? Because I can go into like an entire rampage on Warframe.
I mean, listen, I know very little about Warframe, so please enlighten me.
So Warframe is it was actually one of the earlier like multiplayer looter shooters back in the day. I think it came out like 2013, 2014, and to think that's a long time ago is weird and makes me feel old. But anyways, so and for a while, like it's one of those games that has potential. It's one of those games where the core gameplay is really good. The developers were finding a good loop to it, and everything seemed to be like building up and building up, and it was in the top 10 Steam charts for a while. Then Planes of Eidolon came out, and the developer went, "Oh, open world grindiness. This is how we make video games, boys." And it has been this perpetual cycle of they'll take months, if not years, to develop something and cause this drought of content. And it's a whole like I can really deep like it's like you with Dead by Daylight. I can get into the nitty gritty, and it's just been this constant cycle. And like the worst example of this is they had a piece of content called The New War, and this was like this was a major story centerpiece. This was part of a storyline that has been going on for 6 or 7 years, and it was supposed to come out around November 2020. That was the deadline they said it was going to come out. Then they pushed it to holiday 2020. Do you know when it came out?
I'm gonna say 5 days ago.
Not that bad. It would have been unsurprising, but it came out earlier this year. It came out early January, I want to say, is when The New War came out. I could be wrong. It could be very late December last year, but it did not arrive in 2020. I can tell you that. And they delayed it. But then they're like, "Oh, no. This is all the stuff leading up to The New War." And they're like, "Oh, this is the New War excuse." They release, and again, this is a co-op looter shooter. Let me remind you, they released a really, really bad Sea of Thieves in space update called Railjack.
I remember that.
And it was buggy. It was shitty. Imagine this. Your ship gets damaged and you have 3 chances to repair it, but the enemy can keep damaging it. Okay, cool. And it was buggy, it was stupid, and it was the exact same 2 game modes over and over again. Like, no, this is the prequel to The New War, guys. Like, okay, cool. And so later on, they finally get past the Railjack update. Like, "Oh, we're gonna fix Railjack by reworking Arcwing, which is the other shitty flight game mode that they put into this co-op looter shooter."
I remember you trying to get me to do Railjacks with you, and I just did not want to.
No, it's terrible. I hate it. It is bad Sea of Thieves. That's exactly what Railjack is.
So
and then,
Sea of Thieves in space.
Then there was that. Then there was. So do you know the weird orc system from like Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah.
They put in a great value version of that, where if you didn't put in the right button combination that you didn't know, oh, no, it wasn't that. If you didn't put in the right mods, like stuff you cannot change mid-game, like you have to go back to your ship, you have to go back to your social hub and equip these mods. You then have to go in and fight this random encounter you may or may not get, and it will kick your ass the first time. But if you somehow win, and you just so happen to have the right mods put in, which is chosen at random, you then have a chance to kill it.
So wait, you're just playing slot machines with your ships?
You're playing Shadow of Mordor with slot machines.
Ew.
And then there was like the Scarlet Spear update, which was buggy and terrible. There was just all these really terrible updates leading up to The New War.
It's okay, guys. It's free to play.
It's free to play. I fucking hate that argument. It's a bullshit argument. God. Oh man.
You want to hear me go on a rant? I mentioned in I don't know if you guys saw it or not. I uploaded a video describing my statement of ethics on my YouTube channel not super long ago.
Yeah.
And
Yes. This is-
yeah, I explicitly mentioned in it that I don't want to ever take a sponsorship deal if my channel ever takes off from any of these like soul sucking, just wallet stealing mobile games that are free to win, but like freemium. Is that the word? Freemium games.
yeah.
And yeah,
Raid Shadow Legends.
oh my god, I hate it. I hate that so much because that
Clash of Clans.
a lot of people don't realize how this all started. I remember when mobile gaming became like a sort of new thing that was really starting to grow. And I remember seeing all the microtransactions going into it and everything else. And I was genuinely not happy with what I was seeing because I was seeing these little games that were basically like Farmville on like on your phone. Just, pay X dollars, get bonuses to your things. And the more I watched it, I was always staring at it like, who the hell would do this? Who is giving these mobile games their money? And then I found out when I went to college, a lot of people do. A lot of
Yup.
people give these companies their money. And the problem is that they don't realize that this is bad for two reasons. One, you're spending money on something that's not real. Two, you are signifying to this company that this works. And any gaming company that's watching this that doesn't mind being morally bankrupt, they'll follow that. I distinctly recall starting to actually have to actively tell my friends, do not get into mobile gaming because of that very thing. Because all the shit you see with like Diablo Immortal as a mobile game, everyone's sitting there clowning on it and laughing on what a scam it is. I don't get why they're laughing at it. Because if you are willing to take the sponsorship deals and stuff like that from Raid Shadow Legends is not much better. It really isn't. Every time one of your favorite content creators promotes that piece of shit game, you are effectively supporting them support something that is not any different than Diablo Immortal.
Oh yeah. And so I got bored one day, and I was like why? Because I'm not gonna lie, I dabbled in some mobile games, and thankfully at a certain point I have like a weird like threshold where like it clicks. I'm like, wait, I'm just being fucked over here. But I was like really intrigued. It's like what's going on here? And so started digging into it. And apparently the number one hiring position for psychologists is mobile games.
Oh, for
So they
addiction
have
or...
like it was like no, like most psychologists nowadays are being hired by mobile game companies because they essentially they bring them on as consultants, and they consult on ways to how do we psychologically manipulate people into
Oh
playing
my
mobile
god,
games.
how do we tap into that dopamine fix?
Oh, exactly. And
Instead
there was
of
like
one
Oh.
big purchase, it's a bunch of tiny purchases over and over and make you feel,
yeah,
oh, I'm not spending that much money. And then over the course of you playing the game, it's like, oh,
it gets
shoot,
bigger
I
and bigger,
spent like $300.
and
Oops.
like $200 to get Raiden Shogun. Not calling myself out or anything, but I'm calling myself out.
And like some
Not even
people
gonna.
ruin their lives with these goddamn games.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, because so the other like the flip side of this is that these psychological tricks are very effective because like when you open menus, like the little like discount thing Nico mentioned, is they add up. So if you already have an addiction problem, if you have a personality that is susceptible to addiction, these mobile games accelerate that, which is even I know some people have like mixed feelings about him, but Jim Sterling actually did a really good video where he talked to people that have these addictions and how it gets like how it starts and how bad it gets. So essentially people are moving away from like the people that would be at the casino ruining their lives are now playing Candy Crush ruining their lives just because
I
they have geared this.
Oh yeah, and the thing is we live in an era now where if someone goes to like the slots and they're ruining their life, like, and you can tell they're ruining their life, we're thankfully in an age now where people will see that and will go, okay, this is a problem. Like, this person isn't being just like, they are kind of dumb, but they're not doing this because they're dumb. They're doing this because they have a problem. They have a genuine problem and they need help. But when it's something
Yes.
like mobile games, no one looks at that and goes, "Oh, this person has a problem, they need help." No, they just go, "That guy's a fucking idiot." And I don't blame them for thinking that, but what they don't realize is it's exactly the same thing, except the difference is when you win the slots, you get money back. When you win the random draw in the mobile game, you get nothing.
You get a picture of an anime waifu.
Yes,
That's all you're getting.
you somehow get less than something.
And but what's but again, like what is so sad is the fact that there was even a leaked video of a mobile game developer explaining every like all the little tricks, like mentioning the little discount thing. And essentially it all builds to like trying to establish a sum cost fallacy and trying to get the person over the bridge of spending money. And that's what that little discount is essentially it's like a little it's bait. It's like saying, hey, like here you go, this is like a one-time offer, like it's like $1, it's super cheap, but once you put the money in, then they now psychologically, because psychologically you think, oh, I've put money in, spending money in this game is now okay.
Yeah, once you cross that threshold, it's funny. How weird is it that that's literally the same philosophy Batman has about killing someone and why he won't do it?
Exactly.
How weird is
Batman-
that?
Batman is
Batman,
one
but for
anime
mobile
waifu
games.
away from murdering someone. That is headcanon.
Honestly.
But yeah, like seriously, it's so bad. Mahler has a great little spiel about that he gave on a live stream he was on somewhere, I think. And if you don't know who Mahler is, he's this guy who does long form criticisms of various pieces of media. And he mentions that he has done stuff like to discuss like sponsorship brands and stuff like that. I don't think he takes sponsors, even though he's a big enough content creator that he could at this point. And he mentions like I am genuinely disgusted whenever I see people doing like these Raid Shadow Legends like sponsorships because it's not okay. And someone in the chat mentioned, well, these sponsorship deals are what allows content creators to keep doing what they do. And he responds with, okay, is it letting them continue to make content or is it allowing themselves to enrich themselves? Because there is a difference.
It just makes me think of the CSGO knife hunting.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Oh, and then
You know what? That's at the top of my
Oh,
list of worst games. CSGO. Fuck that game. I
yeah,
I
don't
miss
get
it
hype.
deeply and I will never play it again.
So, like, because the problem is that Raid Shadow Legends, oddly enough, one of my favorite streamers used to work for them. Nico, you actually know them, and she feels a little guilty about it because she kind of thinks that maybe they figured out the YouTube marketing thing because of her. What's really sad is that as a mobile game developer, because you're already predatory, like your entire business model is preying upon the psychological weaknesses of the human mind. Like, period. No, it's not her. It's Zepla HQ. Like she talks about it in a live stream. Uh
Oh.
yeah, she used to work for them. She doesn't anymore. She like does her own thing. But anyways, so they're already predatory. So as a marketing business person, those small to medium tier content creators, they could use that money, but what's even worse is that as a business, I know that they need like the money we could give them would it could help them pay rent. It could do this like they would be a little more willing to do this ad compared to like a bigger content creator who has maybe like merch or some other like revenue stream that lets them not do it. They can say no to it. So as at moments I can see why a medium to smaller content creator would take it, like a Raid Shadow Legends or a Clash of Clans. I don't agree with it. I'm like, you probably should have like tried to find another company or
In order
I
for
don't
me
know.
to do something like that, the amount of money they would have to give me would be some ungodly amount to the point where it would almost be irresponsible of me not to take it because of the good things I could do with that money. Like like we're talking millions here. Like they'd have to offer me enough money that I could go to a school and replace every textbook in that building.
Yeah, and that's fair. It's just from like a I get why a content creator would take that money.
Well, I think it also
That like a
depends too.
larger one.
Like, some people don't consider it gambling, or some people just aren't informed enough on it. So I don't know if it'd be fair to throw them into the same kind of bracket or the same group. You know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that is all completely true though.
Which by the way, it is gambling. I want to throw that out there.
No, it is gambling. It is absolutely
Absolutely.
no.
I don't
It's
care.
not gambling because in gambling, there's a chance you might get something.
and this is I don't care
Yeah.
what the ESA says.
Yeah, it's actually worse. It's somehow worse.
You just get the idea that you got something out of it. Easy.
Yeah, it's great. It's like crypto, but without the possibility of maybe getting rich.
As far as like the CS:GO knife hunting, at least some of those guns you end up getting, you can get money back for them for selling them.
It's true.
Not super likely.
Do you guys remember back when selling RuneScape and World of Warcraft accounts was a thing?
Yup.
Is that
Word.
still a thing? That must still be a thing.
Kind of.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it's. I think most of it switched over to boosting, where they rather take over your account, get it to where you want it, and then rather than like sell you an actual account. That's from what I've seen in the WoW scene. Is most of it's boosting.
God. There's a game. I'll talk about that for a minute here. This is a controversial take, and if one of my friends is watching this, they're not going to like what I'm about to say. You want to talk about bad games? Let's talk about World of Warcraft real quick.
That is a great video game. I
don't
not
have
know
much
what
to
you
say
are
about
talking
that.
about.
Okay, so I've been playing, or I shouldn't say I've been playing, because I stopped playing WoW at the beginning of Shadowlands. You know, when it turned out that they all had a Cosby room, you know what I mean? That was that was the nail in the coffin for me.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I played World of Warcraft all the way from vanilla to Shadowlands, and I took a break during Warlords of Draenor because I hated that expansion with a burning passion. Just could not stand it. Hated it. Hated everything about it. And
Hate everything you stand for.
yes, and World of Warcraft, a lot of people mention this from time to time, but they don't fully talk about how World of Warcraft has just become very much the chase the dragon dopamine addiction as well in some ways. Like, that's all a lot of that crap is at this point. That's why drop rates work the way they do. That's why they have the microtransaction shop and everything else where you can buy, you know, character boosts. Like, and that's the thing too. A character boost is pay to win. I don't care if it's a PvE game. That is still pay to win. Like, you are paying to cut ahead in line and skip ahead to be somewhere you're not supposed to be. That is what a character boost is.
Yes.
Like, I don't have too much of a problem with it in a game like World of Warcraft, but I don't like that people won't acknowledge that that is what that is.
Yeah, it is, because to be fair, I wanna clarify here that I have paid for a boost in Final Fantasy 14, and I would like it to be known that was
I mean, who
that
hasn't?
was
Who
worthless.
hasn't?
That was worthless. It was worthless.
I haven't. I find no reason to boost a character level because it's easy enough to level up in at least in Final Fantasy. So
Oh yeah. Like, they give you options and avenues. And
like,
stuff. The only time I
why
would
play
be
the
okay
game
with-
if you're not going to play the game?
But
well, like there's
yeah.
like some classes. I'm like, no, I'd rather just pay. Looking at you, Black Mage.
Does anyone
Just a
remember?
warrior.
Does anyone remember how garbage? Speaking of bad games, Dead Space 3 was. Did anyone else play that game? Was that just me?
Never played it.
I did not play it. I had a friend that played it, and he hated every moment of it.
Oh my god, it's so bad. We're gonna take everything that made Dead Space 1 and 2 good. You can just get rid of that. Have either of you played the Oddworld games?
Oh, I've seen a little bit on it, but
So those
Yeah.
games were my childhood. I loved Oddworld. I fucking adored that game, that series, that franchise. And they recently released a remake of the second game, my favorite one in the series. And it hurts because I played it and they stayed mostly truthful or you know, like loyal to the old style, to the original source material. But boy howdy, that game is not great. It's really not. It's hard to look at it and then realize that outside of having better graphics, the original game that is 20 years old at this point was better in almost every way.
Isn't this like some of the like the final like the older Final Fantasy ports, like of like 4 and 6 and whatnot, where like they were better on their OG consoles than the ports were?
It depends. The Game Boy Advance one, yes, absolutely. Game Boy Advance Final Fantasy IV was a broken mess. But yeah, it's hard because like it wasn't. In this case, it wasn't a port. It was a complete remake from the ground up. They redid all the gameplay, they redid all the levels, they completely rewrote the story, they redid all the voice acting, they redid everything. And it's a shame because you can tell they worked real hard on it, and that's unfortunate because it's not good.
Boy.
There's a couple of games I can think of, especially recently, that it sounded like people put a lot of work into the game, and then it just wasn't great.
We have a
One of which
we have a review of one of those coming up soon.
exact. Well, one of them I'm talking about is one that you recently reviewed,
Oh no.
and re-reviewed it after an update came out.
What game is that, Nico?
Man, I don't know. Could it be Lovecraft
Uh,
Untold Stories 2?
Stupid
Oh,
cultist getting stuck on Box Boogaloo.
I hate it here. I hate it
Ever
here.
played the game? You'd have to pay me money to play the game. Not just buy me the game. Like, pay me money.
Pay me money to touch this shit. Actually, I do have a game that's like that. Like I could tell there was a lot of work put into this. There was a lot of love, and it's not Cyberpunk. That it broke my heart when I played it with how boring and mundane it was. Because there was like a cool concept. Does anyone remember the video game, oddly enough, called Remember Me?
No, I don't.
No, not a clue.
So do you know the video game Life is Strange?
Oh yeah,
I know
absolutely.
of it. Every time I see it, I want to play it less and less.
I had to stop playing it because my decisions made me depressed.
Yes. So, oddly enough, the developer behind Life is Strange made a cyberpunkish game back during like the 360 generation called Remember Me. And it was aesthetically, it was everything I love about cyberpunk and sci-fi. And when and it had this cool idea of memories were kind of like, instead of being like stored in your mind, they were kind of like held on this like hard drive where you could like manipulate memories, and you could mess with people's memories and the way they thought things happened. You know, it was such a cool premise, and it came out, and it turned out to be just a generic beat 'em up. Where the main thing they were trying to sell, the little like memory manipulation, only happened 3 times throughout the entire game.
That's unfortunate.
And it made me so sad because it was such a cool world. The art style was amazing. It was just the voice acting and the gameplay just killed it.
That's rough. That sucks. It's funny. Life is Strange. The only line I know from memory from Life is Strange is, I shot myself, stupid gun. Hang on, I'm coming.
I feel like I recall that exactly.
I shot myself, stupid gun. What?
That game
How dare this gun do that? What the heck?
And I loved that game. And I was like, that was not a good line. That was not a good line. They should have redone that.
That's just
probably.
Not great. I'll be honest with you. I hate those games mostly because I watched a few playthroughs and the characters. We all know exactly which character I am talking about. The worst one, and she's one of the super important ones. We all know.
Oh, is it Chloe?
Yes.
The
Chloe Price, one of the worst characters to ever exist in a piece of media ever, makes every bad life decision humanly possible, and the game goes out of its way to try to let you know, well, maybe it's not her fault. Well, maybe she might actually be right. Or, well, maybe you just don't understand. And at no point is anything ever framed to you that, like, in this game, no, she's just a shitbag, and the game tries to guilt trip you for not saving her if you choose not to.
So there is actually, so hold on. So again, just to put it out there, I did enjoy Life is Strange, but I will admit Chloe at moments when I'm like, there are moments where I think you should have just died. You should have, spoiler alert. I was like, you are so annoying, but there is a storyline where I'm like, if this was the Chloe we got, I would have liked her so much more, because this is a character I genuinely enjoyed. I was Like, and all they just toned down some of her like more outlandish things. Like she was still kind of sassy, still kind of a rebel, but I was like, yo, this is a likable character because she's human. She's not this weird Tumblr stereotype. But overall, I enjoyed the game.
My dog is crying in the other room for some reason. I don't know what he needs.
He doesn't agree
Maybe
with
he
my
wants-
take on
I get-
Life is
yeah.
Strange is a bad video
No,
game.
Chloe dumb. Chloe dumb. Woof.
Chloe dumb wolf.
Chloe dumb. Woof.
I will say the main character in that game fucking hated her. Like just the self-pitying decision. And
not
again, I
great.
like this
Not
game.
great.
Not great. I'm like there were multiple instances. I'm sitting here thinking like if you had just told someone, if you had just communicated or not done whatever the fuck you thought was a good idea.
I mean,
Man.
how many people like at her age do you think actually would end up saying something?
How old
or
is Chloe?
Rather just
Or not, how old is
keeping
Chloe?
it in.
Like
They're
how?
high school. They're high school age.
Like if they're at least
Yeah.
16, there's no excuse.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just know a lot of people, even around like 16, 17, don't like putting their problems onto other people or like telling other people like, hey, something's going on. So like, oh,
God, you had the
there's
exact
something I can-
opposite experience I had in high school and college.
Well,
it's
Like I'd be sitting there like, oh man, I got myself a paper cut. 3 girls in the back would tell me about the time their father abused them, and 2 dudes would tell me to shut up because they have cancer.
Well, like even that, like there were moments like the character wise, like it wasn't just her. Like her decisions were impacting multiple people, were impacting more than just her. And like even as like a 16-year-old, I can remember decisions like that. I still try to do the right thing. Like even some of the shittiest people I have known in life would have not done what the main character did. And I was like, you and it was done for melodrama.
So this is a common issue in a lot of rom-coms where like we all know that in romantic comedies there's always that scene where like there's the main woman and the main guy, and like the main woman walks in on the main guy as like one of his female friends tripped onto him or something. So for the next 20 minutes of the movie, like, you know, she hates him and he has to go apologize and try to explain that it wasn't what she thought and how he's sorry and all that. And like, you know, you can tell just by watching it that if the person in question or if the people in question just spent 10 seconds to talk about what just happened, none of this would happen. You know, like
Wouldn't be an issue.
the plot would end immediately. And the thing
Yeah.
is that the game I have a review coming up for soon because like I'm done with the script almost and I gotta start getting the footage edited and stuff. That's the entire game. That's not an exaggeration. That is the entire game. So this game I'm talking about, The Outbound Ghost, literally it happens not once, not twice, but like 3 to 4 to 5 to almost 6 different times. The plot gets screwy because everyone in the story, for some reason, just can't stop what they're doing and talk to each other at any given moment for no reason sometimes. Like, genuinely, you can tell the reason why is because they need the game to continue.
surely it's not that bad.
Oh my god.
Dan, you're the only one that gets that right now.
Oh my god. I don't make fun of Shirley enough in that script. I barely talk about her. I don't think I even mention her by name.
Are they worth mentioning?
Oh my god. I hated this character. I hated her with a passion. She is, imagine you are the worst or you have like this worst spoiled, brattiest piece of shit 14-year-old you've ever had in your life. Now make her a grown adult.
Ah,
But nothing
Yep.
changed. After careful consideration, she decided to become worse.
after further deliberation, I've decided to continue to be everyone else's problem.
Yes. Just, it's so bad. Like, it's funny. Considering I didn't have any real prep work, I was debating on getting the Outbound Ghost a little bit ago, but decided not to in the chat from Lance. Lance, I'll say this. The gameplay is good. The gameplay is very good. and the overall story is very good. It really is, but I'm not gonna spoil the ending. Boy, that ending is rough. That ending is real rough. This is a
Oh
friendly
yeah.
reminder to people, a very friendly reminder to everyone. You can be the greatest game designer in the world. You can be the best at coding, have the best artists, have the best people on your team. That doesn't mean you know how to write.
Nope.
And this game, when you see the video for it come out, is going to explain that real quick, real clear.
I still remember my DMs getting blown up of how upset you were about the ending.
Oh my god, I actually got up and I walked away from my computer to go talk to my wife a couple of times. Like, I was that upset. I was that mad.
The decision you have made is so fucking stupid. It has ruined my day.
Yes, no, genuinely, like, if Danielle was, like, in here right now, like, I bet I could get her to come in here, actually. Like, I bet I could have her join this chat. Hang on. Like, yeah, talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
I
How's the
could talk
weather?
I was gonna say I could talk about how bad Dragon Ball Z Sagas was because that was the OG game I was gonna talk about.
Yeah, there you go,
Oh
do that.
Lord. Go for it.
Okay, so Dragon Ball Z Sagas was I think it's a PS2 GameCube era video game, and it was unsurprisingly it was a video game about Dragon Ball Z. Shock and horror.
No way.
No way. But it was incredibly shitty. Like I was so sad because I had brought my PS2 to my grandmother's house in Oklahoma. And only at the time only had 2 or 3 games. Only had Ace Combat 5, which is all I really needed. And but we also went out and rented Dragon Ball Z Sagas. This game is so terrible that you can beat most bosses by never finishing a combo.
So the
Hold
thing
on.
is, fun
So
fact, Taylor. Fun
so the
fact.
game has a
Oh,
thing is like as you hit a boss, they
muted.
get staggered as you
There we
hit
go.
them, and they stop staggering once you finish the combo. So as long as you didn't finish the combo, you kept staggering them.
I forgot to unmute in
Oh,
Discord. I
jeez.
played this game.
Oh, Dragon Ball! So you know how bad it is.
Yes, I actually, because I spent my hard-earned bottle money as a kid on this piece of shit game, I actually had to, like, because the bosses were super easy, it was all the bullshit leading up to the bosses on the hardest difficulty that were not easy. I actually had to basically bribe my older brother to keep playing with me so I could get to the goddamn ending of Saga, because I heard you get to go fight Boo at the end of it if you play on the hardest difficulty.
Was Boo even out at that time?
Yes, that's why I knew. But I don't know if he was in that game. To this day, I still don't know if that's true or not, because I never got far enough in the hardest difficulty to do it.
I'm not sure if I played this game. I might have.
Hang on, my wife has joined. I'll try to lower my voice a bit because I can hear my voice echoing from her microphone all the way over there.
Hi.
Speak to us.
Hi there.
I was summoned here. I received a link.
Yes. So yeah, hun, how did God, I hate that I can hear myself over your mic. So yeah, how did I handle the ending of the Outbound Ghost?
I can hear you're still talking about it, apparently. It's still making you mad.
Like the night I finished it.
Oh my god, it was so bad. I learned the entire plot of the game in about 5 seconds. That way I could learn about how the plot didn't go the way it was supposed to, or anywhere. It was... And it's still bad. And it's just a rough time all around.
Like
I've never seen you that genuinely upset at the plot of a game. I've seen you mad at gameplay, I've seen you mad at graphics, I've seen you mad at lag. I've never seen you mad at the plot of a game.
Yeah, because I literally like got up and I walked my ass over to you to talk to you about how mad I was. I think like 3 times, didn't I?
It was a bit, yeah. I was doing homework at the time, and so I was like, yes, that's very terrible, hun. That's awful.
Oh,
That's
oh,
great,
yeah,
honey.
Yeah,
Good,
like,
great.
Good job.
Like, stop what you're doing, okay? You listen here. My anger and my frustration is more important than your career. All right, your future career, that it plays second fiddle to how mad I am about this game's terrible goddamn ending. So put down your math books, okay? Put down your notebooks and get your SpongeBob jammies on, and then listen to me rant to you about how awful this goddamn piece of shit story is.
All right, but I'm
SpongeBob
putting on
jammies.
penguin jammies, not SpongeBob jammies.
No, you're getting SpongeBob jammies, and there's a nose where the dick goes.
I don't.
Huh.
have
Screw
a-
you, I'm doing Toy Story.
I'm a girl.
And
All right, whatever. Gonna look a little weird.
all right, thank you, hon. Your usefulness to me has come to an end. Love you.
Love you.
I think that's a
Bye.
great Bye.
See,
I don't know how we're supposed to top that. I don't know. Like, how do we follow that up?
your usefulness to me has come to an end.
Just so everyone knows, I'm joking. I love my wife. I'm never this mean to her. Although I did slam a door shut in her face in my Core Keeper review video and locked her in a tool shed.
For like 2 seconds, I was like, I hope this isn't a video game. Please tell. Okay, in the video game, we're good now.
Taylor,
All right, we're good.
Taylor,
Okay.
I'm going to come to your house. Okay.
Whoa.
I'm going to burn your home down. I'm going to slash your tires. Your family pets are going in the blender along with your family itself. I will drink them through a silly straw in Minecraft.
Okay.
Only if you spank me first.
Okay.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm going to do all these terrible things
in
to
Minecraft?
you. In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
Okay, okay. Yeah, they scared me for a minute because you didn't say in Minecraft.
Yeah, in Minecraft. All right.
Yeah, I want Dan to spank me in Minecraft. Look,
Listen. There are a few things we always make sure to say in Minecraft and with my socks on.
What about in Minecraft with my socks on? Can we combine the two?
That just seems excessive.
Yeah, but it's like putting on 2 condoms. You know, you're extra safe.
I don't think that's how that works.
That's not at all how that works.
What?
Oh, actually, in fact, that makes it more likely to break. Please never do that.
Correct, kids. Listen, when you're having your gross, degenerate premarital sex, make sure you only use 1 condom.
Or what you do is you use 3, so that way, like, the middle layer acts like a buffer.
See, you actually wear 6. That's the big brain play, because if there's no stimulation or feeling whatsoever, you're not going to keep that up.
So I think the biggest brain play is just to not to wear one, because it can't break if you're not wearing one.
You right.
Oh my god! We have solved world pregnancy. I know what I said, and I'm sticking with it.
There you go. It's like world hunger, but it's going in the wrong hole.
Or the right
Yep.
one.
You know what? Yeah, Well, guys, I think that's actually we really didn't stay on topic most of tonight, did we?
No.
Not
we
at
did
all.
not.
Good job, us. Good job.
We're great
we
at this
hung
whole
out,
podcast thing.
we hung out around it. Like we were like we were next door neighbors to it for a little
Yeah,
while.
we were in the right vicinity. It's fine.
Yeah, we were adjacent.
I don't know who this Jason is, but I was not a Jason.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, I don't know any Jason. Actually, I take that back. I knew one Jason, and he was kind of a prick. So,
Wait, what's your name again?
Dan?
Okay.
Dan is just Jason spelt differently.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne is Jesus Christ.
Jesus Bourne is Jason Christ.
I love that meme.
Jesus born is Jason. Oh my god. I want to say that in front of my very religious grandmother one day. I'm gonna blame it y'all when I do it.
Sorry, I meant to say
Praise-
Jesus.
Praise be to the great Jesus born.
That's
what?
right. J Wiz. All hail the J Wiz. All right, well, Taylor, you want to go ahead and send us off?
Yes. Thank you for watching the Useless Potato Podcast, where we totally stay on subject the entire time. I don't care what you say, Mom. I have been Taylor.
And I've been Nico.
See, normally that host, when they do the ad, I don't know what I'm about to say. Hi, thank you all so much for watching. This has been Dan. Don't forget that you all can leave a like on the VOD of this stream if you enjoyed what you saw here. It's really helpful in the algorithm. And don't forget, you can also subscribe. Be sure to share this video with your friends. And hey, make sure to come check out the Clips channel. We're going to be posting some of the best takes we have on there, whether they're the funniest or just the most interesting. All I heard was in the background. What happened? Who overloaded their mic to the point where it stopped making noise?
I believe Taylor just died.
Yeah, I went, boom, and it just my mic went. We're not doing this shit.
No,
all right?
you're not. Like, we're not processing that. Go away.
Ah!
Ah!